Welcome back, my Duelist friends. Casual Duelist here, and it is Monday. Monday means we're going to be doing another Edison format build. Actually, this week we're going to have two. It's going to be Monday, Friday. And we're keeping with the historic deck lists for now. Because I'm waiting on an order of cards before I actually start getting into like my custom builds. And today's deck is going to be a duelist named Brian Ortiz. I want to say this placed 14th at the SJC Edison. So it's perfect. And it's Blackwings. And I love Blackwings, and they were really cool in this time period. The only thing that was like really against them was like, I think it was Whirlwind was at 2 and Gale was at 1. But it's a very solid deck with tons of tech options. And it's a shame it didn't get any higher in the list than 14. But I like the deck, so we're going to review it today. We're going to start in the main deck. It's going to be 40-card main deck. We're going to start by teching in 3 copies Blizzard. Blizzard on normal summon allows you to special summon a level 4 or lower from graveyard in face-up defense position. However, this guy himself cannot be special summoned. So a little bit of give and take there. But this is going to let us like seriously spam the 6-star synchro monsters, and that was a good thing back then. Next up, a guy that I love to use even today, Bora the Spear. As long as you control a Blackwing with a different name, this guy is a free special summon as many times per turn as you have copies, and he inflicts piercing damage when his attack is higher than the defense values. So very good. Keeping with the special summons, you got to play the single copy Gale. Gale, again, as long as there's a non-Gale B-Wing on field, you can spam as many of these to the field as you want. This format, ban list says 1. Once per turn, you can target a face-up monster that the opponent controls, and its attack and defense become half of its current attack and defense. So this is a permanent walking, talking, flying shrink. Very good stuff. Next up, we're going to use the hand trap, the battle trap of the Guru, and also one of my gateways into 5-star synchro, Kalut the Moon Shadow. Similar to Honest, we can discard this during the damage step in order to change the outcome of battle. Unlike Honest, we're just going to be able to add 1400 to our attacking or defending Blackwing card. So again, it just transfers his stats over, which is fine. And then again, you tag this in with the Blizzard play, and then you're able to spam 5 stars. Next up, one of my original favorites, Shora of the Blue Flame. Nice 4-star. This is a normal summon only. Not like you couldn't special summon it, but like it doesn't have an effect that does that. When this card destroys the opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 Blackwing with 1500 or less attack from the deck with the effects negated. Now, real quick, this will work on cards like Vayu, but not Blizzard, because Blizzard specifically states it cannot be special summoned, and the effects are not negated until it hits the field. So again, Shora Blizzard, not an interaction. Shora Vayu, great interaction. Next up, this is my normal summon. 3 copies Sirocco the Dawn. So very similar to how Cyber Dragon says, like, if your opponent has monsters, you get to special summon it. This one will say that if you control no monsters, but your opponent does, then you can normal summon it without tribute. Now, the crazy cool technique of this card, besides using this with Black Whirlwind, which was a big majority of everything, was when we were dealing with piercing damage. We would use this guy to do some unthinkable things. So let's go ahead. Let's bring him a little bit closer. Let's give him the recognition he deserves. Once per turn, you can select 1 Blackwing monster you control. 1 face-up, I guess. Gains attack equal to the total attack of all face-up Blackwing cards on the field except for itself, and other monsters you control outside of that card cannot attack this turn. So, if you played Sirocco and, like, let's just say it was 3 Boras, you could give one of those Boras the attack value of every card on the field minus himself, because again, it would be like a doubler. It's to add the 34, 54, 54 to the 17, 60, 70, 100 points of attack. And this card is now piercing. And if you had Clute in your hand, you could be looking at a game stroke right off the rip. So, like, Sirocco the Dawn, kind of crazy cool. It's good stuff. And then not last, but the last Blackwing, we're going to be playing 2 copies of Vayu, the Emblem of Honor. And this guy's actually really cool. So if this is face up on the field, it cannot be used for synchro material. But the thing is, if you play it by Shura, you can. If this card is in your graveyard, you may remove it from play +1 non-tuner Blackwing. Special summon 1 Blackwing synchro from the extra deck whose level equals the total levels of the removed cards. The effects of that monster will be negated. So again, it lets you body up another card. And yeah, it's a good option for going with like Sirocco or insert other card here. I think Sirocco's 5, right? Yeah, I think Sirocco's really your only option here, which is why we play so many Armed Wings. But we'll get to that when we get to the extra deck. Last monster card, we're gonna be playing Dad. So everybody who loves the Dark Armed Dragon, stand up. Like, this is a great card. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Cannot be special summoned except by having exactly 3 dark in the graveyard when you summon it. You can remove from play a dark card at any point to destroy 1 card on the field. That is not a quick effect, so it's not at any point, but it is it's a normal like spell speed 1 monster effect. So it's not too bad. And again, you got the deck, the graveyard modulation with Vayu and Blizzard. 3 is actually not that hard to do for this deck, so he just makes a great, like, I don't want to call him a babysitter or nothing, but like, he's pretty good team lead here. Moving into the spells, we're going to have the single Allure of Darkness because of the ban list, the double Black Whirlwind in order to add cards when we normal summon. Hopefully we can, pop off multiple birds this way. We are going to run 3 Books of Moon. Book of Moon, again, helps with, putting those weak cards into defense mode so Bora can steamroll them, or have Shura actually win against a card, take it off the field, and then put another monster on the field. Stuff like that. 1 Brain Control, because again, it'd be silly. We're playing so many tuners. Why would you not do this? Heavy Storm for the back row. My Body is a Shield. This is an excellent card from the time period. And for the whopping cost of 1,500 points, you can negate the activation of a card that is going to destroy 1 or more monsters on the field. You just get to negate and destroy it. This is like a lost art. I'd love to talk about this on the weekend, and I think I will. We'll do this as like instead of a speed duel spotlight, we'll spotlight this card for the Edison format and just talk about why it's so good. Of course, 1 MST. Very basic stuff here. Going into the traps, double bottomless, because there's still a lot of decks that you kind of want to guard against. Let's see if we can zoom this out just a hair. Single copy Delty Crow anti-reverse. So if you control a Blackwing monster, you can destroy all set, spell, and traps the opponent controls. But if you have 3 Blackwing monsters on your field, you can just play this from your hand. This is insanely good, and it helps us take up some more back row hate. We only play 1 because, honestly, Icarus attack at 3 is just a much better tech for most of what this deck wants to do. And again, it's a trading 2 for 2. It's not terrible. And again, out of the main deck, we have like 1 option that doesn't work here, and that's Dark Armed Dragon. And again, what if you Shura summon Vayu, but you don't actually want to synchronize into Catastor or Magical Android? Well, then you could just hold off and wait for the Icarus attack, wait for your opponent to extend just enough to where you can break up the play and end their turn. The remaining traps, Mirror Force for obvious reasons, double Royal Oppression. Again, pretty much want to set this up after you've set up your board. Torrential Tribute for the times where you need it. And T-Dust Shoot because it's just good to get rid of those extra options. So just real quick, guys, there is the main deck. We'll be right back with the extra in just a moment. Go ahead, screen cap, or, pause and make the notes. We'll see you guys in a second. All right, and we're back with the extra deck. Now, like I said, we do have a substitute in here because I do not have a Magical Android. I looked up the prices on them. They're like $17 a pop right now. So I think I'm going to go ahead and reach out to some of my other Duelist friends, see if I can't get a copy. But for right now, I'm going to be subbing in a second Ally of Justice Catastor. The build originally for Brian Ortiz calls for 1 Catastor. Again, Destroys any non-dark by effect before damage calc. Android, again, 2400, 5-star, nice and generic, decent power level, especially for a 5-star. Is going to do the life gain based on psychics during the end phase or whatever the effect actually was. That's going to be good stuff. Next up, we're going to use a single copy of Black Rose Dragon for the field detonation ability. Again, this is pretty standard. We're going to be using 3 copies of the Blackwing Armed Wing. And now again, we can spam 6 all day, every day. And part of being able to spam 6 means knowing that we're going to need something for the value options, and sometimes we're just going to want this guy. Now, the way that this guy works, Blackwing tuner plus non-tuners, if attacks defense, gain 500 during damage step, and has piercing. So again, the reason for the 3 Books of Moon goes further than just the main deck shenanigans. It goes straight into the side deck and actually helps us increase, not just based on, the defense being weaker. Again, if we did it to, Jinzo, he drops from 24 to, 14 or 15. Obviously, that's a 900-point difference. And since we're dealing with piercing, that's actually, a net gain to damage. But we're also, going to increase that gap by being able to gain the extra 500 through the effect. So, again, just fantastic. Playing Armor Master at 2. Armor Master is going to be doing great things for us. Number 1, he's immune to battle. You take no battle damage. And he still has the wedge counter ability, which is just fantastic. Next up, a card I never really understood back then was Blackwing Silverwind the Ascendant. So it's a Blackwing tuner plus 2 or more non-tuners, which was kind of goofy. This is an 8-star card, 2800. When is Synchro summoned, select and destroy up to 2 face-up cards on the field with defense lower than this card's attack. You cannot conduct your battle phase the turn you activate this. The next time a Blackwing you control will be destroyed by battle during your opponent's turn. It is not destroyed, and that effect is only once per game. So again, it's not bad. I get that he's situationally good. But it was always hard for me to justify making that when I had other cards like, Thought Ruler Arcfiend. I don't know. So I'm not sure if this is something that Brian is a genius for playing, because it worked well in the tournament, worked well in the time period, or if maybe he would have climbed higher than 14th should he have had a different 8-star synchro. And again, obviously, we'll never know because that is over and done with. Single copy Bryo, again, I think Bryanak is good. Maybe this could be something that could have been doubled up on. Generic 6-star with the ability to discard cards to bounce cards. Not only could we bounce things like our own Black Whirlwind, this helps us, again, modulate and add to the discard pile. Maybe we only needed that 1 extra card, right, in order to play the Dark Arm Dragon. So we can actually use the Bryanak, go ahead and do the things, and this could be our gateway in. Colossal Fighter in case we match up against Dark Arm Dragon. Go-Yo Guardian so we could take stuff. Again, this is another wonderful card. Same power as the Silverwind with the 6-star spam. This may be something that in the future you may have done. Single copy Mistworm. Now this card is just goofiness. I've always loved it, but I always had to use it because I just didn't have anything else for 9 stars. So it's a tuner plus 2 or more non-tuners, and when synchro summoned, you could bounce up to 3 cards the opponent controls. So, I always loved it, and Blackwings are a perfect example of a deck that just gets in there, starts utilizing the whole synchro mechanic, and does all these cool things. You finish this deck out with 2 copies of the Stardust Dragon. For obvious reasons, he's one of the best, if not the best, 8-star in the time period. I'm looking at a copy of his side deck right now. I can go over it. It's got Chain Disappearance, another Delty Reverse, 2 Legendary Jiu-Jitsu Masters, double Nobleman to cross out, 2 Skill Drain, 3 System Down. I think it's Transmigration Prophecy at 1. 2 regular Trap Holes, because again, people just underestimate how useful it is. And 1 copy of the Starlight Road. So obviously, he does keep 2 in here because he can make 1. He can actually make both of them in many duels. But again, it's just really good to keep it because, again, Starlight Road was such a staple back then. It was goofy. So if you guys like it, this is the whole deck. If you guys liked it, give us a like, comment, sub. We're going to have a speed duel deck on Wednesday. It's been requested that I elaborate a little more on the Ultimate Tyranno from the Spotlight. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to build that deck as is today while using a copy of Ultimate Tyranno. This way everybody has the list. That should be fun. And then on Friday we're going to be playing a deck I like for this time period. And one that I was running-ish. Mine was a little different because I had to make more budget plays. But we're going to be here with a 6 Samurai build. So if that all sounds good, stay tuned. Do the things, don't do the things. That's your prerogative. Do one thing for me. You guys go out there, have a great day, and start your week off strong. All right? Ooh, excuse me. So until next time, my friends, be well. See you later.